the pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Curry trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
Just a little bit
follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight. And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series live from the Lowe's Motor Speedway in beautiful Concord, North Carolina. We are so glad you're joining us here tonight. As always, my name is JoeTowNetwork. Joining me up here in the booth tonight, he is the one, the only, Mr. Dewey Schramm III. Dewey, welcome back to the JTN booth.
Glad to be back as always, and boy, do we have a good one on tap here tonight.
A great one on tap, some would say, Dewey, as we're here at the Beast of the Southeast, the Lowe's Motor Speedway, currently known as the Charlotte Motor Speedway. 140 laps for these drivers here tonight. How tough is that going to be on these race car drivers?
Going to be very tough. Obviously, we've had races this season with a comparable amount of laps or more, but it's a lot different when you're at a track bigger like this one is, when you have a whole bunch of other factors like fuel saving and tire conservation and everything. And when you add it all up together, it is going to be likely one of the most grueling races that these guys will have all season long.
It's also a special night for us here on JTN. We have a special announcement to come later on in tonight's broadcast, so stay tuned for that. Qualifying, though, has concluded. You saw those results at the top of your screen. Stewie, take us through tonight's starting lineup.
And starting on the pole, stop me if you've heard this one before, Tower Mellon in the 18. And starting in second...
I have heard that before.
You have.
All right.
Good.
All right, I stopped you. All right, continue.
Starting in second place, to his outside, stop me if you heard this before, Zach Rogers in the 5.
Oh, sorry. Stop, Dewey. I have heard that before.
Yeah, the 2 most dominant drivers of the season, fittingly, starting 1-2 here tonight. Ken Hansen, Texas winner, he'll start in 3rd. Wiley King to the outside of him in 4th. His teammate Steve Grant will roll off in 5th, with Ricky J, the Martinsville winner, back in 6th. Terry Scott and Joshua Clements make up row number 4, with Nelly and Magoo rounding out the top 10. Monty Keller and Mac Daddy will be back in row number 6, with Eli and RJ Rusty in row number 7. Silverbolt will roll off in 15th, with Brain Fade to his outside. And rounding out tonight's field, Daytona winner Brian Voiles and Jimmy Dale, 2nd at Talladega, trying to maybe finish a position better here tonight.
Great starting lineup here tonight for 140 laps of action, folks. Again, can't thank you enough for tuning into JTN here this evening. Make sure, if you haven't already, drop a like on the video, subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on JTN. See Greg in chat, Josh in chat, welcome into you both. Hope you're having a wonderful, what is it, it's Thursday night here. Sit back, relax. We're going to have some great racing action on deck for you here tonight. And be a friend, tell a friend about our streams here on JTN if you haven't already. Yeah, it's college basketball. It's March Madness is officially... I know, like, the March Madness is what we call the NCAA tournament, but March Madness really starts when the conference tournaments start, as they did this past weekend, Dewey. And, of course, our friends in the ACC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, the SEC, I believe, they've all started their conference tournaments here this week, and the power conferences, as you may, but the Big East and got some good college basketball on tap for this weekend if you're a fan of it. So make sure you tune in. Don't ask me how my team did because they sucked this year. And yeah.
Go UConn.
Dewey, I wanted to go to a UConn game. I was really, when I was out there in Connecticut earlier this year, I was like, oh man, I need to schedule this so I can go to a UConn game, and they were on the road. They were playing at Butler too, which I believe would be one of the closer Big East schools to me.
Yeah, they're not that far
because they're in
away,
Indianapolis. So, of course, Josh, he's got Tennessee all the way on Rocky Top. Oh, come on, Greg. College basketball, March Madness can be fun. I enjoy March Madness. I don't like watching college basketball typically unless it's my team. Not like college football, Dewey. I think we've talked about this before. And this is our show open, and this tells you how we're going to get into the racing here, folks. But again, it's March. But I don't know. College basketball, March Madness is always really, really fun, and I can watch that more than I can typical college basketball.
Absolutely.
Saw cars
Everybody turns it up a notch when the calendar flips to March.
Yeah. We're wrecking all over right now. Rainfade just hopped over Magoo.
Now that it's March.
Yeah. Turn 4 is pretty tricky here. I noticed a couple drivers getting really loose off that corner. It's always had this really weird transition, Dewey. They talked about it a lot. The way they paved it and kind of profiled that corner. It's got this huge like dip in it. And I wonder if we'll see that be a trouble spot here tonight.
Very well possible. We've seen multiple different tracks that have just weird corners like that seem to give everybody fits. We had that at Texas a couple weeks ago. I think a lot of people had issues there out of turn 2, so maybe a similar thing here tonight, but obviously you're going to want to be the guy that figures it out and navigates it successfully first, and if you can do that, you got a pretty good chance of taking home the win tonight.
Elliott here in the 103. Whereas last week was road course week here on JTN. You missed it all.
I did.
You didn't want to go partake in the drinking of the wine and the eating of the cheese?
Not a big wine guy.
Not a big wine guy.
No.
I mean, you do a lot of whining, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Unbelievable.
Come on, you knew that was coming, right?
Oh, I absolutely did, and I made no attempts to stop you either.
You're a big cheese guy, though, right?
Yeah, cheese, pretty cool.
Yeah, wine and cheese. I love cheese to go with that wine, Dewey. All right, let's get graded up. The stars and cards of the Mod Squad Racing Cup Series get lined up here on the grid. Again, remind you folks at home, if you haven't already, click the like button on the video and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on JTN. Can't thank you enough, as always, for your support. And we look forward to your continued patronage here on JTN. So we wait the command to get engines fired here from Lowe's Motor Speedway.
Drivers, start your engines!
Here we go. Got some weird stuff going on with the shadows of the cars. What the heck? Alright.
Got some real funny business.
Nice. Well, you see? You see? Do you see? You see? It's Tyler Mallon rolling off on the pole tonight in that number 18 Interstate Batteries Toyota. To his outside will be the 5 of Zach Rogers. Row 2. This is Ken Hansen In the number 9, and to the outside of the 9 is the 095. The 011 is Steve Grant, or the 095 Wiley King. Apologies, Wiley. The 011 is Steve Grant rolls off in 5th, with the 93 of Ricky J to the outside. In 6th, or in... I already lost count. In 7th tonight will be the 66 of Terry Scott, and the 92 of Joshua Clements in 8th. Rounding out your top 10, Nelly in the 103 and Magoo in the 144. Those were your 10 that took time here in qualifying of a 15-car field, I do believe, here this evening. 140 laps on the docket for these drivers here tonight. It's going to be a fun one, folks. Strap in and get ready for over 200 miles of racing action here from the beast of the southeast, the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Green flag, we're racing here from Concord.
Not sure if Tyler got the memo on that one. Very sluggish start there for the 18, and that's allowed Zach Rogers to pull away by a couple of car lengths already through the middle of 1 and 2 here.
Ricky J, Joshua Clements both getting to the inside there of Wiley King as they head off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
Something to keep an eye on for as these guys make their way through 3 and 4 for the first time. He mentioned those issues navigating 4 in the pre-race as my game just decided to crash, so that is absolutely cool.
Oh, mine did too. Wow.
All right.
Well, they're racing, folks. We think.
Been a hot minute since my game crashed.
It's been about a week since mine crashed. Apologies, folks. Hey, if we can't make light of it, what can we do, right? That was wow.
That might be a first where both of us had it crash at the same time.
Our games are crashing everywhere. Cars staying good out there on track, though, from the sounds of it. Yeah, we're still going. Tyler Malin all over the back bumper of Zach Rogers here down the back straightaway into turn 3. I was told we'll let the viewers at home know about how the sausage is made, because of course we converse with the drivers, or at least I do. Dewey and everyone else doesn't because they're scared or something. But I converse with the drivers down in the garage area, and this driver in the number 5, Zach Rogers, he's always like, Joe, whenever I'm leading, you show Tyler when Tyler's in second, and whenever Tyler's leading, you show Tyler when Tyler's in the lead. What's up with that? And I said, Zach, you know what? Be the points leader, and then I'll show you more on screen. Well, Zach, I'm going to give you a little taste of what you're looking for here. As you lead in that number 5, Zach Rogers, front and center on your screens at home here in the number 5. It's a field of 18, too. I think I said 15. I misspoke earlier on. Dewey, you got your cameras back, right?
My cameras are indeed back.
Wonderful. It's like we're
despite the
single file.
Initial slow start there for the 18, doesn't seem to be affecting him too much, as he's already right there again. Though my camera's being off to a slow start, even worse.
Welcome in, Tristan.
Either somebody severed a cable or Bristol's messing around.
What was that?
I said either a cable got cut or Bristol's asleep at the wheel.
That's not very nice. He's had a very rough week. Get it? Rough? Ha!
He's in the dog days, huh?
Do you have the chat up?
I do not.
Ah, you're missing it.
I am not in possession of the extra monitor that I can do that with.
You have a cell phone, right?
Supposedly.
Heck yeah, Tristan! Congratulations, man. Tristan, he's got a internship with the Georgia Forestry Commission this summer. Heck yeah! Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Don't burn down the forest. All right.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right now, only Zach Rogers can prevent Tyler Malin from taking the lead.
Welcome in, Kathy. Hope you're staying safe. Heard there's some, there might be some storms rolling through down there. Tristan's got a great point. 2 new Fake Racers podcast, new episode this week over on, well, over on the other channel. Announcement coming later in this show about that, but go check that out. Go give it a like. Go give it a watch. It was apparently it's a very popular episode this week, so appreciate it if you went and checked it out. Hi, Darren.
Must be more popular because Matt wasn't there.
What was that?
But it's probably a more popular episode because Matt wasn't on it this week.
Wow. Eli's around here off of turn number 4 in the grass. Let's get a replay of what happened to bring out our first caution of the night right in front of Brian Voiles and a heavy hit to the outside wall. Reminiscent of what we saw Denny Hamlin have earlier this year. Or last year, I guess.
Unlike that incident, though, Brian Voiles did not hook the crap
Brian
out of
Voiles
Eli
did
to put
not hook him. That is correct. There was no intention. Brian Voiles will not be suspended next week. Good clarification,
job, though, by
Dewey.
Brian to avoid it.
The overhead view here. Ugh. Eli's just had such terrible luck here the last couple weeks.
He had a great run going to Talladega, but got caught up in an incident late that took him out of contention. As we've got Tyler is around the backstretch.
What?
Tyler's around on the backstretch, and he just towed it.
Oh no.
What in the heck just happened? It looks like everybody was slowing down for the pace car, and I think Ricky J got into Tyler by accident and went around and got towed.
Wow.
Well then.
That's breaking news.
Breaking, Tyler's car, apparently.
Well, breaking news there with Tyler Mallon as we'll watch pit stops here. And then we'll... Yeah, breaking news. There's some breaking news that we got, Dewey, after this round of pit stops.
All right.
We got beef. Nah, we don't got beef. Tyler's just going to laugh about it, probably. All right, Zach Rogers wins the race off pit road. Dewey, you want to do some breaking news?
I do want to do some breaking news.
All right, let's send it over to our colleague, Davey Hazard.
What's up, guys? My name is Davey Hazard. I'm 1/3 of the Fake Racers podcast on JTN2. You can find it anywhere on Spotify or on JTN2 on YouTube or anywhere you listen to podcasts. So, Jesus Christ. But I'm actually here to tell you something. We have a little bit of an announcement. JTN2 is no longer JTN2. It is now Track and Turf. So we've been tossing it around a little bit lately and changing JTN2 because we need something different for it. Because we're not giving you more of what JTN proper does. So it just kind of makes sense to go for the rebrand. Everything on JTN2 is going to stay the same. The content's going to stay the same. There's probably hopefully only going to be more of it, honestly. And it's just going to be a name and brand change. So Fake Racers podcast long form will still be there. You'll still get some short form Fake Racers podcast stuff. Hopefully more oof sides. Hopefully more sports in general is kind of the idea. But that's what it is. And would really appreciate it if you follow us on the socials. The Twitter is track_and_turf. The YouTube is the same, so if you know where JTN2 is, it's there. And if you don't, then just look for Track and Turf on YouTube. It'll also probably be linked, either in the chat or down below, or what have you. So, thank you. Enjoy the race. I'll see you around. Maybe on the broadcast? But probably on the podcast. And in the 1-minute, 1-race videos that we've been doing on the JTN Shorts page and on the JTN TikTok. Check those out, too. Peace.
That's right. JTN2 is now track and turf. We encourage you, if you haven't already, you go over and make sure you're subscribed. If you're already subscribed to JTN2, guess what? You're subscribed to track and turf. It's that easy. Same thing. Same thing. You got it? You're already subscribed. Now, we do encourage you, if you're not already subscribed to JTN2, you head over to track and turf now. Subscribe. You're not going to miss a second of the Fake Racers podcast. Sides in the fall, talking about the NFL disqualified. Episodes talking about crazy things in F1 history. We have more content planned for track and turf. Moral of the story is, though, we're staying the same here on JTN. We're keeping all the live racing content that we have. We'll have snips from and clips and shorts and whatnot from Fake Racers podcast. Davey's 1 minute, 1 race series that he does a fantastic job on. We'll still have all of that stuff for you here on JTN. But Track and Turf is going to be your new source and our new outlet to bring you guys new content that we've been striving to do. So we encourage you, if you haven't already, go over there, subscribe. I'll post the link here in the chat in a second. But it opens up more possibilities, more ways for us to serve our audience, and hopefully more ways for us to kind of get our creative juices flowing.
Absolutely, and Davey also did a phenomenal job designing the logos for the channel as well. So, all around, great job by Davey and the crew. Get it all ready to be unveiled here tonight. I can't wait for it. You'll find me on Sides again in the fall, just as all of us insult each other while talking about football, as men do. And it'll be a good time. Tower Malin, though, not really having a good time. He just now came off of pit road, and he's a lap down, so he's going to need a yellow to get himself back on the lead lap here. Went from running in second to the only car lap down, but Zach Rogers will lead us back to the green as the pace car gets himself down onto pit road, and we are back underway here on lap 16. A bit surprised Eli got that damage fixed as quickly as he did, but that car is still very loose as he's trying to make his way through turn 2 now. Managed to stay on the lead lap, but at 114 still may be down on power. Battle for 4th, Nelly versus Ken Hansen. The 103 is going to take that one very easily. I think the 9 had a bad corner there. Caution is back out. Tyler involved in the 18 again.
The bad night going from bad to worse.
Oh, it looks like Eli was in it as well.
And another driver with a bad night going from bad to worse.
Yeah, I just mentioned the previous lap that 114 looked like it kept breaking loose, and it looks like in the middle of 1 and 2, it just stepped out on him.
Yeah, had a big run down into the corner. Magoo was checking up a lot, and it's like looks like the caution was already out when these two made contact, actually. Yeah, I think it might have been for the 011.
Nowhere for Tyler to go, though, as runs right into the back of Eli. And you might be right.
The 011 lost the motor, it looks like, right? How slow he got all of a sudden?
I think you might be right, which is a really tough break, though, for Steve Grant. Qualified in 5th. Had a lot of speed in that 11 car, and it's listed as a piston issue.
Ah, he did what?
He piston, and never mind. But no, looks like he's done for the evening with a piston issue. So, not the way, of course, Steve wanted his evening to go. Not the way Eli and Tyler wanted their night to go either. But the 18 will stay out here and get one of his 2 laps back, I think. We'll see if maybe on this pit stop here if Eli tries to maybe tighten that car up a little bit, because that thing looked evil when he was driving it there through 1 and 2. Race off pit road was won by Zach. Ricky J, Ken Hansen, Wiley King follow him off.
Dewey, how's your paint scheme work going?
Going good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Having some issues with the shadows today. We're just gonna turn them off. Cars no longer have shadows. Oh, that looks so weird. Never mind. The cars are gonna have shadows.
Schemehaven.com race break.
I mean, those are upcoming races presented by Scheme Haven. It's the Fun Coast 500 Maverick Cup Series opens up their season 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time from Daytona Tuesday. Dewey and I will be on the call for that one. Then the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series heads to Dover Motor Speedway 1 week from tonight, Thursday, March 21st, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time, and then Saturday, March 23rd, annual Polar Bear 200 from the Texas Motor Speedway. Coverage of that one kicking off at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races all live right here only on JTN, presented by our friends at SchemeHaven.com. Or are you a .net?
What's that?
Are you .com or .net?
I am .com.
Okay.
I gotta be honest, calling Dover a motor speedway still feels wrong.
Well, I technically correct, so just like to tell you.
Well, no, that is what it's called now, but
Right.
I'm not used to it yet.
Maybe you should get used to it.
I'm trying. So a very weird start to the race so far. Still quite a ways to go. Quick summary, I guess if you're just now joining us, Eli has an extremely loose car. Tyler got towed under caution, and Steve Grant blew a piston and is no longer in the race. And as a result, Tyler still finds himself 2 laps down to the rest of the field. Obviously, if 2 quick yellows come out, he's got his laps back, but he's got to hope that there's not a green run and that nobody else gets lapped during it.
So we'll go back green next time by lap 22 of 140 here. Are you ready for this restart?
I am ready for this restart.
I am locked in for this restart.
As ready as I'll ever be.
Heck yeah. Locked in. Locked and loaded. Ready to go. Field makes their way off turn 4 behind Zach Rogers in the number 5. And back away we go. Green flag once again here from the Lowe Motor Speedway. Ken Hansen and Wiley King already side by side heading down into turns 1 and 2. King able to power by on that outside line.
The 095's got some real speed in it tonight. He's had trouble closing out these races when he's had the speed. We'll see if tonight can be any different, as Ricky J is going to make a move here into 3 and 4, trying to get the lead away. from Zach Rogers in the 5. Side by side at the line, but the 5 will have the nose at the stripe.
As Ricky J tries to apply some pressure to Zach Rogers, Rogers kind of sits in this catbird seat for tonight with Tyler Mallon's early struggles in this race. An opportunity for Zach to make up some points that, well, he thought he would be able to make up last week, Dewey, and he was unable to.
No, he was not, and coupled with his struggles at Talladega and Tyler actually winning that race, a couple of missed opportunities recently for that 5 machine, but right now Tyler sits 2 laps down and in need of cautions, and the 5 finds himself as the leader. So if there's any time to do it, it is right now. Of course, he's got quite a few fast cars behind him, though, that would also love to win. Ricky J, who has won this season, Wiley King looking for his first, Ken Hansen looking for his second, and Silver Bullet looking for his first. So he's got quite the tall task ahead of him, Zach does, even though the dominant car to start no longer in the picture as of now. Like a pretty methodic run here so far. Looks like everybody's mostly single file, taking roughly the same groove around the racetrack. Though Silver Bullet will bobble there in the middle of 3 and 4.
It allows Nelly to get to the inside and complete the pass.
Monty Keller's got a chance to do the same, perhaps, here in 1 and 2 in that 028 machine. Had a great run at Martinsville a few weeks back.
Had a good run in our Truck Series race last week as well.
Battle on the front stretch, Mac Daddy on the low side, Brain Fade up top, advantage Mac Daddy here into 1. Believe that is for 12th.
Tyler Mallon's coming back down pit road, Dewey.
And I wonder if he might be calling it a night here.
Already?
Well, it looked like on the start, or on the restart, that he was laying back to let everybody race each other since he wasn't lead lap, but this is an extremely off-cycle pit stop not long after the restart, so I'm not really sure what the strategy here is, but it looks like it's a 4-tire and fuel stop. Which is going to put him 3, maybe 4 laps down now, with it being under green and nobody else coming in right now. He'll make his way now off of pit road as the leaders come through the dogleg. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go down a 3rd lap here very early on in the race. Still plenty of time for a lot of crazy things to happen, but obviously a subpar start has gotten just a little bit worse now. Field looks to be spreading out just a bit more, though we do have a little bit of a pack here from Silver Bullet to about Joshua Clements here in the 92.
Lonnie Keller scraping the wall a little bit there. Wiley King starting to pull up on Rookie J. Do your hip with the lingo. What does that mean?
I gotta keep it 100% honest. I didn't hear a single thing you just said. I was so focused on the
Gotta
action.
keep it 100. Keep it a buck.
Yeah, keep it real.
Keep it real.
honest.
Do you remember you weren't around for keeping it real with Kurt Montgomery back in the day, were you?
I was not.
Let me tell you, that Kurt Montgomery character, he was a character.
Boy, was he ever.
Had a lot of similarities to our very own Tommy Bordeaux, believe it or not.
Yeah, some might even say they might be the same person, but
I don't believe it.
who knows? I mean, have you ever seen Tommy Bordeaux and Kurt Montgomery in the same room together?
I have, actually.
Have you?
Yeah. In the same
Wow.
car, actually.
That's something I can't say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always keep it real. Keep it honest. Wiley King keeping it real right behind Ricky J right now, putting a lot of pressure on that 93 to try to get that second spot away.
Tyler says, I hate MG. What does that mean?
He hates MG.
Tyler, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. Motorsport Games? That's not who made this game. RNG. Is the 18 down a gear or something? Is that what's happening?
And he's in fourth gear, but we'll see. We'll see what the 5 runs here down the back. Well, obviously he's got a little bit of help with the draft, but Zach looks to be hitting about 193 or so going into turn 3. See what Tyler hits this time around. Yeah, looks like he's only hitting about 177 here into 3. Definitely seems to be down on power in some way. Last time by, last lap was a 31-1. Zach, the leader, ran a 29.6. That 18's losing about a second and a half a lap. And again, obviously the 5 and the guys up here do have a bit of a drafting advantage. At a track like Charlotte, it should not make that much of a difference. Like, being in the draft at Charlotte should not make up a second and a half. That 18 has got to have an issue of some sort that looks to be definitely hindering what that 18 is capable of doing. And I think at this point he's just going to hope for some attrition, and if not, this may end up being a drop race for that 18.
Yeah, we all know what Tyler is capable of course, so yeah, obviously an off night for that 18 team.
Yeah, something definitely amiss there with the vehicle.
With the vehicle.
The automobile.
The automobile. Engine problem under caution. Yeah, well.
That would probably explain why he had that spin.
Right, right.
Perhaps a money shift or something, or just a random issue that said, "Hey, I'm going to mess your night up right now."
Hey, thought you were going to have fun tonight? Well, guess what?
Nope.
That laugh was maniacal, Dewey.
It was.
Yeah. Kind of. I'm honestly a little bit scared to be up here in the booth with you now.
Are ya?
Yeah, I mean, that was a maniacal laugh.
Yeah, for a comparison, the 18 speed going into the corner is what the 5 is hitting coming out of the corner.
Oh, wow.
It is... Yeah, that 18 is not having a good time right now.
Listen to this thing. It just sounds sick, doesn't it?
It does.
Compare it to Fair to Zach Rogers. And the rest of our leaders.
That is not a healthy race car.
That thing is sick. Wiley King having a good night so far on this 095. Running up here in third. Started up there as well. He started fourth tonight.
He's been all over the back of Ricky J for a good 10 laps now. And these two doing battle has allowed Ken Hansen in the 9 to
Close in.
make himself known in this race as well.
Oh, make himself known.
Yeah, got it. Well, in the race, yeah, got a three-way battle now for that runner-up spot behind the 5.
Mm-hmm.
Though Ricky J is also still within drafting distance of Zach, so I don't know if I'd call it a four-way battle, but still about the same general grouping these guys all have. And I think this right here might be Wiley's chance to get second here in the 1.
Drops to the inside of Ricky J. Car a little tight on entry. They'll stay side by side off of turn number 2. It'll be a drag race down the back straightaway. That 93 going to have the momentum from the outside line. Can Wiley King stay close on the bottom? He can. Slides up just a little bit. They get close there through the center of the corner, and Wiley King completes the pass and move through into the second spot off turn 4.
Got RJ Rusty on pit road in the 2. Not sure if this is a scheduled stop or not.
Yeah,
but
we went back green, Dewey, around lap 22, so we've gone about 23 laps. You know, these drivers can go probably 30 on a tank of fuel. Tire is going to be an issue, but maybe a little bit early on the pit cycle there for RJ in the 2.
Looks like Tyler are going to get put another lap down here by the 5. I think that's going to put the 18 now 4 laps down to the leader.
And Tyler's kind of just out here running for points at this point, right?
Yeah, definitely hoping for attrition. You know, hoping enough guys retire from the race that maybe he can get a decent finish and not have to use a drop. But definitely looking that way as it stands right now. See how much longer these leaders elect to keep themselves out on the racetrack. Obviously, we just saw the 2 car come down, but he was the only one to come down so far. So perhaps an undercut maneuver by RJ Rusty to maybe pick up some track position. Despite the 2 yellows, we are starting to get these laps down pretty quickly. Already on lap 49 of the scheduled 140. So just over a third of the way home here so far tonight. Definitely starting to see the tire fall off as well. Zach Rogers' best lap tonight, a 29.2. Last time by ran a 30.1, so about a second of fall off so far on this run. So I'd imagine pretty soon we will start to see more guys make their way down pit road. And in fact, I think Silver Bullet is about to do just that here out of 4, pitting in from 9th.
Yeah, closing in on these pit stops now as Wiley King has closed up on Zach Rogers for the lead. This could be a night for this 095 team. Don't want to speak too soon on it, Dewey, but Wiley having a strong start here in this race so far. Right now, solidly inside the top 3.
Without a doubt. Definitely looks like the 095 is handling better on the longer run than the 5 is. Obviously, the 5 still has speed, but the 095 was not running this close to the 5 earlier in this run, but now he is.
Wiley looks to be coming to pit road this time.
We'll see if maybe we see some jostling of position here in the pits as Zach is in, Wiley is in, Nelly follows them through in the 103. Joshua Clements coming in real hot in the 92. I'd
And
imagine.
Nelly as well.
I'd imagine the 92 is going to get a speeding penalty there.
So Ricky
Terry Scott and Magoo as well.
Ricky J assumes the race lead here. I think this 93 will have to pit here along with the rest of our leaders.
Looks like the 92 is trying the old All-Star qualifying there for a second.
Box, 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 box.
Ricky J coming on in. Ken Hansen. Oh my gosh. RJ Rusty got the wall there trying to go around Ken. Mac Daddy down on pit road as well in the 28. Jimmy Dale, Brain Fade are in. I think that leaves Brian Voiles as the lone car to not pit yet. Currently down the backstretch in the 68, running just ahead of Tyler. And Brian slowing down to pit. 18 will join him. I believe that will complete our cycle, and there goes Zach trying to, or will unlap himself. So it looks to be about 30, 31, maybe 32 laps on a tank. Obviously, tires may render these guys unable to go that long every time, but that seems to be about the max that they can go on a tank of gas.
And something to note here, too. Nelly was able to cycle past Ricky J through this sequence.
A great stop there for the 103 machine.
Ken Hansen, though, also lost a decent chunk of time, but Zach Rogers has extended his race lead exponentially here with that pit stop.
Yeah, prior to those pit stops, he was running about, I think, about half a second ahead of Wiley King. And I think it's going to cycle out to about a 4 or 5 second lead here.
And it was, what, maybe 3/10?
Yeah. Something like that.
Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, Zach definitely the big winner on this round of pit stops, though Nelly, of course, as well, now up in the third. Oh, Ricky J's really loose out of turn 4. How did he hold on to that race car?
Got Ken Hansen in the grass.
Oh my gosh, that 93 was dead sideways, and somehow we held on to the thing. Wow. I think he might be pitting this time to throw new tires on it, but man, what a save that was. That's going to cost the 93 some time, but better off losing some time than destroying his race car.
Dude, I think I'm about to fall out of the server again.
Are you now?
What is up with this? We've been having all kinds of issues these last 2 weeks. Oh, man. So take us radio style, Dewey.
Yeah. Yeah, Ricky J still on pit road getting 4 fresh tires on that car. Wiley King and Nelly very close together here on the backstretch. Will be a battle for second here pretty soon. The 5, though, is just gone right now. Zach just crossed the stripe. Now Wiley King does, but still about a 3.5, 4 second lead. Though it was a bit bigger. It was about 4.1 at the end of the pit cycle, and Wiley King's got it down to 3.2. So Zach's still out by a lot, but the 95 is slowly closing in. So we could have a very interesting battle for the lead here soon. Ricky J now a lap down in 16th, and also not in the free pass position, as that would be the 114 of Eli. So despite the great save by that 93. It's got him in a very tough spot now where he is going to need a couple of yellows to get himself back in it.
Can I get confirmation that our cameras have been disconnected from the race server?
I believe you're back, or I think they have been disconnected.
Okay, we're still having issues. Again, apologies, folks. We didn't have this happen these last two broadcasts, but now we've... Probably gonna get a message about that later.
Battle for 11th here, Silver Bullet and Brain Fade, both of whom running just behind Brian Voiles. And actually, Silver Bullet's going to try to pass that 68 here into 3, so a 3-way battle here for the last spot in the top 10 out of 4. Wiley King has taken another chunk out of Zach Rogers' lead. It is down to 2.67 seconds from the 3.8 or 3.9 that it was off of pit road. So the 95 closing in as Brian Voiles is going to go around out of turn 4 right in front of Silver Bullet and Brain Fade. The 4 is down into the grass. The 49 up against the outside wall. And that will be caution number 3 of the evening after a long green flag run. And it is for Daytona winner Brian Voiles there in the 68. Hopefully we got cameras on that. Unbelievable. Well, we talked in the pre-race about how some guys had some issues navigating turn 4. And I think Brian had a little bit of trouble there. Just went around on him coming out of turn 4 and up into the outside wall it went. Silver Bullet got it slowed down, had to spin it to avoid the 68. The 49 got the outside wall just a little bit, but should be cosmetic damage, if anything. 68 might have some repairs to do, but I think he should be able to continue as well. And again, that was a very long green flag run that just ended, and Wiley King has a whole lot less work to do now to get to the 5 because he is now right there with a restart coming up.
Again, folks, as we try to get those cameras back, working our third caution of the night, let's get another word from our friend Davey Hazard.
What's up, guys? My name is Davey Hazard. I'm 1/3 of the Fake Racers podcast on JTN2. You can find it anywhere on Spotify or on JTN2 on YouTube or anywhere you listen to podcasts. So, Jesus Christ. But I'm actually here to tell you something. We have a little bit of an announcement. JTN2 is no longer JTN2. It is now track and turf. So we've been tossing it around a little bit lately and changing JTN2 because we need something different for it. Because we're not giving you more of what JTN proper does. So it just kind of makes sense to go for the rebrand. Everything on JTN2 is going to stay the same. The content's going to stay the same. There's probably hopefully only going to be more of it, honestly. And it's just going to be a name and brand change. So Fake Racers podcast long form will still be there. You'll still get some short form Fake Racers podcast stuff. Hopefully more oof sides. Hopefully more sports in general is kind of the idea. But that's what it is. And would really appreciate it if you follow us on the socials. The Twitter is track_and_turf. The YouTube is the same. So if you know where JTN2 is, it's there. And if you don't, then just look for Track and Turf on YouTube. It'll also probably be linked either in the chat or down below or what have you. So, thank you. Enjoy the race. I'll see you around. Maybe on the broadcast? But probably on the podcast. And in the 1-minute, 1-race videos that we've been doing on the JTN Shorts page and on the JTN TikTok. Check those out too. Peace.
We've managed to hopefully get our cameras back here, folks. Again, apologies for the issues we're having, but working that third caution of the night. Cars just coming off pit lane. Ryan Voiles, of course, went around there. He's getting repairs done to that race car now. There you see him rolling off pit road. Not a lot of damage on that car. Dewey, again, apologies to our viewers out there.
Yeah, there ain't much viewing going on right now.
Well, they're seeing it now.
All right, so we are about a handful of laps short here of halfway. So about 2 more pit stops still left to go in this race. Zach Rogers has been the dominant car of the race. Our Melons had issues all night. Had a long green run, just ended by a spin here. And we've got the 1 to go. Zach's going to lead us back to the green. Ken Hansen had a great pit stop, now finds himself up in P2. Wiley King back in 3rd. Mac Daddy now up into 4th. Nelly in 5th. Clements now up into 6th. Terry Scott, Magoo, Monty Keller. Where did 8th place go? Oh, RJ Rusty was in 8th. Okay. So Terry Scott, Magoo, Monty Keller, and Brain Fade are going to round out the top 10 here for 3rd restart of the night.
So Zach Rogers getting ready to lead them back. Here, coming back to lap 69 of 140.
Nice.
You're welcome. Rogers with control. Green flag. We're back underway here, just encroaching on halfway.
As close to halfway as you can possibly be without being halfway, and what in the world just happened?
Ken Hansen, terrible restart there for the 9.
Wow.
Something happened. Had to have lost a gear on the restart, Dewey.
Oh, he shifted up into 4th gear by accident instead of going to 3rd.
Yeah, that'll lose you a little bit of momentum, huh?
It will. And that's going to drop him to about, looks like 8th or 7th-ish. Running now with Magoo and Monty Keller.
Our Texas winner will have to regroup and mount another charge. One guy coming to the front of the field here. It's Mac Daddy in the 28. He's right now in 3rd here. That black Haviland Ford.
Haven't really talked about him much tonight, but he's always got speed wherever he goes.
Made a methodical charge to the front of this race, hasn't he? He started all the way out back.
Yeah, didn't have to do a whole lot, just kind of
took his
got
time.
himself there.
Sometimes that's the key, man. Just take your time.
Indeed. But yeah, on that restart, Ken Hansen shifted up into 3rd like normal, and then he accidentally went a step ahead and went right into 4th immediately after it. And that, indeed, will slow you down quite a bit. But looks like he's slotted in now in 7th place. Still a lot of time, obviously, to make that ground back up, but not ideal at any point in the race for that to happen.
Wait, so you're telling me you don't want something bad to happen to you during a race?
That wouldn't be ideal, no. No, I'm not really in the market for that.
Okay. I was just making sure, because, I mean, if you did want something bad to happen to you during the race, I mean, we can arrange that.
Good to know. Wiley King, though, in the market for a win.
What a story that would be.
It would be a great story. That car has been bad fast all night. He hasn't run worse than like 5th the entire race.
Return Pontiac to victory lane as well.
Oh man.
You know, Team Speedlane
Montgomery would love that.
Team Speedlane as a whole has been knocking on the door here this year so far. You know, we talk about Steve Grant. Obviously, he had the engine issues here tonight. Jason San Diego and his limited starts. And Wiley King. Wiley King has really impressed me so far this year. I know I'm not really... Like, why do I matter as the caution's out? I don't. But as we got Eli around...
Oh, man.
Once again.
Yeah, it looks like that's... Yeah, it's the 3rd time it's happened to Eli, and it looks like it was about the same spot as the second one.
Collects Jimmy Dale up in it.
Big hit for the 33. Nowhere he could go at all.
Ooh, look at Ricky J.
Oh, man.
That'd be...
Great job by Ricky there to...
It was evasive.
Miss that, yeah.
What'd you say?
Wow. Yeah, 33 is going to have a lengthy repair job here. And Eli as well. The back of that car is destroyed. It has just not been... Or it's been a night to forget for that 114, unfortunately. We'll see if we have any takers here under yellow with how quick of a caution that was. Oh, looks like just about everybody. Alright then. Only about 5 laps of a run and everybody wants fresh tires already.
Do you want fresh tires?
I'd love fresh tires.
On your Impala?
Yeah.
Or do you have a Malibu?
I have an Impala.
Nice. You know, that's like a gazelle or something, right?
I did not know that.
Is that what an Impala is? What is an Impala?
Your guess is as good as mine.
It's an animal.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's an antelope. Eastern and Southern Africa.
Interesting.
So what the little
More you
logo
know.
is on the side of your car. If you have an Impala, there's a little Impala logo on your car. On the C post, right? Do we?
What?
Don't forget.
So this caution makes for a very interesting setup here.
How so?
So they were running about 32, 33 laps on fuel. We're gonna go green with, I think, about 60 to go.
Mm-hmm.
So it is gonna be very, very close on fuel at the very end of this thing. If they max out both runs and risk the extra tire wear, I think they might be able to make it on one stop from here on out. But if they short pit once for the tires, they might not be able to make it on one more stop. So a very interesting dilemma.
It's a break point in the race, right?
Yeah. If this goes green from here on out, it makes for a very interesting dilemma come about lap 100, 105, 110. I'm sure, though, that we'll have another caution at some point to render this entire point moot.
They like to do that to us, don't they?
They do, they do. But, while it's still possible, why not?
Why not at least say it, right?
Yeah. Make it known.
Make it known. Malin gets another lap back in the 18. It's kind of going to be Tyler's prerogative here.
Yeah, getting what he can.
All right. Upcoming races here on JTN. Again, next time we're live, it's going to be Tuesday night, BSR Cup Series season opener, Fun Coast 500 from Daytona. Then 1 week from tonight, we head to the Dover Motor Speedway for Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series action. And then Saturday, March 23rd, of course, the always special, spectacular Polar Bear 200 from the Texas Motor Speedway this year. Coverage kicking off at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races and much, much more are going to all be live right here only on JTN. And presented by Scheme Haven.
Wonder who that is.
Dewey.
Yeah. Pace lights are out.
They are.
So we're going to have 62 to go at the restart again. Very close on fuel, these guys will be. Zach Rogers, as he has all night, will lead us back to the green. Mac Daddy in second. Wiley King, Joshua Clements, and Nelly round out the top 5. I think that's the first time the 92's been up here all evening, so an opportunity perhaps for him to make some noise and throw his hat in the ring.
Throw his hat in the ring.
Yeah.
Ah. What kind of hat?
A fedora, perhaps.
Ricky J and RJ Rusty side by side there.
A restart.
Ricky J trying to find his way back to the front of the field.
Yeah, had that really great save earlier that caused him to have to pit for 4 tires under green and off cycle.
And
Got
Hansen
his lap back now.
Ken Hansen got by Terry Scott, then Brain Fade tried to take advantage of it as well, but Terry able to hold off the 49 on the outside.
Yeah, much better restart for Ken Hansen this time. Did not shift into 4th by accident again, so gonna go ahead and try to get by Terry Scott, and he will, as the 66 went way high there through the dog
Caution's
leg.
out.
And we'll see.
Eli's around.
Oh, no.
Not his night. And just got loose by himself, it looks like, once again. And with all the damage on the rear end of that race car, this is kind of bound to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the real issue you have, is obviously there are some spots of the track that are already way looser than others, and once you fall victim to that and you get all that damage to the rear end, it just affects the handling and the aerodynamics, and once it happens once, it's likely going to happen again and again and again, and looks like Eli has called it an evening here in the 114, so we're down to, looks like 16 cars left on the racetrack. That'll give Tower Mound an extra spot in the 18.
And probably move him a lap closer to being back on the lead lap.
Yeah, obviously that car is still very down on power, but if there's more attrition, I mean, you never know.
Everyone except Wiley King, Jimmy Dale coming down pit lane this time.
Interesting call here by the 95.
I like it.
So do I. We were green for only about a lap and a half. The tires really didn't get worn at all.
Mm-hmm.
The 95's been knocking on the door all evening of the lead, and with the opportunity there, why not take it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
our second leader of the night.
Couple takers for 2 tires, the 93, the 28, and the 4.
2 tires make sense too, honestly. Only being, again, only out there for a lap and a half, why not?
I mean, the big thing is, right, Dewey, you got to do something different than 5. I think that's kind of what everyone's working assumption needs to be at this point.
If you want to win the race, absolutely. Because that 5 has been the star of the show tonight, has done basically everything right. So, of course, Wiley sees an opportunity to pass him. May not have been a green flag pass, but it's a pass for the lead nonetheless.
Hey, yeah, just gotta get to the point.
Silver Bullet, obviously, and a couple others saw the opportunity to take two and leapfrog him. They took it. And again, why not? May not have been a green flag pass, but it is a pass nonetheless. So the 5 looks like will line up 5th here for this restart. Which is now the lowest he's run all race, which shows you how good of a race he's had.
Yes. How good of a car he's had, too, right?
All of a sudden, running 5th is bad.
Bad. Evil.
Diabolical.
Whoa, that was a big word.
Yeah. The Ricky J looks like is now fully recovered from the save earlier. Obviously, Mac Daddy's got the speed. Silver Bullet's got a great opportunity here, like Clements did on the last restart, to make some noise and spice things up here at the front. Obviously, Nelly and Ken Hansen were in that top 3 earlier in the race. Still have the speed to get back there. Been a very competitive race. Obviously, Zach has the most speed, but looking at it now, if something happens to the 5 or he can't get back up there, I think there's at least 5-6 cars that could realistically take home this win tonight. Perhaps nobody in a better position to do that than the man at the point right now, Wiley King. Lights are out on the pace car. Who needed those anyway? Wiley King, your leader. Mac Daddy, Silver Bullet, Zach Rogers, Joshua Clements round out your top 5. Nelly, Ken Hansen, Magoo, Brain Fade, and Terry Scott round out the top 10. As Ricky J actually just pit from 2nd, which coming to the 1 to go, which was interesting. So he will yield his 2nd spot here on the restart, and he'll line up probably about 13th.
So if you're Wiley King and you have control here for this restart, you know you got 2 tires behind you, Dewey. And then you got 4 a little bit further back. What are you doing to manage this thing?
Honestly, I would just take the restart normally.
And get a good jump like that, green flag back
Yeah.
underway, and Wiley King's got about a 4-car length lead.
I mean, if you've got the freshest tires, well, he doesn't have the freshest tires, but again, they're only 2 laps old under green, so it's not like they're super worn compared to everybody else. Good battle back here, though. Silver Bullet up top, Zach Rogers down low. This is for 3rd. Joshua Clements right behind him in the 92. 3-horse battle here for the last spot on the podium, as Mac Daddy has to find the right balance between attacking the 95 and holding off the 4 right now.
That's always a tough balance to strike, especially when you're on 2 tires, and here comes Zach Rogers
Ken
on...
Hansen's around. Sorry, Joe. Went around here on the front stretch. Not sure if this is a yellow or not.
It's not. We stay green. We'll get you a replay once things die down here at the front. Zach Rogers looking for 3rd to the inside of Silver Bullet, trying to take Joshua Clements with him.
Yeah, this top 5 is still all over each other as the 5 washes up a groove there in the middle of the corner. Silver Bullet holds tough up top, but the 5 will have the advantage here as Nelly and Clements are side by side for 5th right behind these guys. They really turned it up a notch here on the restart. Silver Bullet gets the wall there at a 2.
Allows Nelly to make a move to the inside.
I
Nelly's
dragged the 92 with him.
Nelly's another driver that's had a solid night here so far.
For sure. And that's not to say Silver Bullet hasn't.
Right, but I mean, we've talked about as they're trying to make contact, they're trying to crash into each other. Well, we've seen Nelly up towards the front of the field here. Silver Bullet using strategy to his advantage, trying to gain a couple spots there. He's been in the top 10, hasn't been in the top 5 consistently so far this evening.
92 is making a move to the low side of the 4 as well. Oh, and gets into him at a 4! And into the outside wall, big time, goes the 4 of Silver Bullet. Still trying to gather it up here through the dog leg. No caution for that, and...
Never mind.
Oh, and Jimmy Dale just ran right into the back of him.
There's the caution.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the 92 just washed up a groove out of 4 and got into the side of the 4 and put him into the wall, and then the 33 just couldn't avoid him and ran right into the back of the 4, going into 1.
And he's driving it, too. I mean, I know he's hitting the wall here, but he's driving it, trying to keep it off of everybody, and then, yeah, Jimmy Dale just couldn't change his line quick enough.
And that really stinks for the 4, who was having a really solid night, and just like that, he's got a very torn-up race car and no track position.
So Wiley King out in front of the field here. No 2 tire takers this time. Looks like Mac Daddy, though, is going to win the race off pit road. Zach Rogers second. Wiley King third. Nelly and Magoo, your top 5. Can Hansen staying out? I have to think he'll probably pit this next time around. He had gone for that spin. Unless he had already pit Dewey. I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure myself.
Not given that information.
Worth noting, though, Tyler Mallon now only a lap down.
Wow.
Was upwards, I think, of 4, maybe 5 laps down earlier, now down to 1. And again, that car is still very down on power, and he's not going to pass anybody under green. However, it does create the possibility where if he's on the lead lap and we have a restart with like 3 to go, and a bunch of people wreck, can easily pick up spots that way, of course, like people do typically at a super speedway event. If we have more attrition throughout the race, he can just stay out and pass anybody else that retires, like with Eli and Steve Grant earlier.
Oh.
Actually, it looks like he's being shown as 2 laps down now, but same concept, though.
Who?
I mean, yeah, it stinks he's been running by himself all night, but I mean, still an opportunity to maybe gain enough spots before the night's over where he says, you know what, maybe I want to save my drop race for later in the year,
Well, you don't
and I
get
can
to
just take the hit for this one.
you don't pick your drop races, right? It'll just be your worst finishes will get dropped. So
Well, you never know. Maybe he finishes worse in another race later
yeah,
in the year.
you
and
get
one
involved
gets
in a big
dropped
wreck at
instead.
Daytona later this year, or Talladega,
Yeah.
right? Like that's kind of what you're looking at. To kind of insulate yourself from those things, right?
In any event, just want to get positions wherever you can.
So points leader will come down the pit lane. Zach Rogers will have the race lead here for the restart. He already was the leader, but Mac Daddy will restart in second.
Alright, gonna go back to green here this time by. Got 46 laps to go when they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Zach back in the lead. Mac Daddy, Wiley King, Nelly, and Magoo round out the top 5. First time we've seen 144 up here in the top 5 tonight. See if we can make anything of it. Finished, of course, third at Talladega a couple weeks ago. Got a little bit of momentum on his side here.
Love to see it. Here we go. Green flag. Welcome in, Kraus. Also welcome in, Angie. I don't think I said hello so far just yet. But working under 50 laps to go. Zach Rogers in the lead. Mac Daddy in second. Wiley King rounding out your podium right now. Let's restart that 28. Look at that 28. Look at the skew in that car through the corner, Dewey.
He is flying right now. Wheeling and dealing in that 28 machine. Battle for 5th. Ricky J is going to take it here from Magoo into 1.
So he'll set his sights on Nelly in the 103, who rides in 4th.
As the track surface is becoming very covered in skid marks from all the spins we've had recently.
You know what else is covered in skid marks?
What's that?
The freeway.
It's true.
Yeah. I was
Battle
going to
for
say
the
something a
lead.
little dirty, but I didn't want to.
Mac Daddy to the low side of Zach Rogers, and we have our first pass for the lead under green. Other than pit stops, obviously.
And the
Mac
start.
Daddy to the lead here in the 28. That 28 is flying.
Mac Daddy goes to the lead. Would like to remind you folks at home, if you haven't already, click the like button on the video and subscribe. Make sure you're following us on all our social media at JoeTowNetwork. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, JTN right here on YouTube. So we can keep up to date with everything we got going on. Also, make sure you go subscribe to Track and Turf, our new secondary YouTube channel where we do all of our motorsports and non-motorsports content. including our podcast, it's Fake Racers Podcast, Oof Size, and much, much more. I encourage you to go check out Track and Turf. We got it linked, pinned to the top of the live stream chat as well.
And if you just opened the broadcast and you're wondering, well, Joe, what in the world is Track and Turf? That is formerly known as JTN2.
Yes, correct. So if you
Done a
already
new
subscribed to
snazzy
JTN2,
rebrand.
you already subscribed to Track and Turf, right?
Yeah.
Track and Turf also has its own Twitter, so you can go check that out. Track_N_Turf.
Field is kind of split in half here. Mac Daddy's pulled away or gotten a gap between himself and the rest of the top 5. 6th and 7th are kind of on an island of their own, and then everybody else is all in a group here out of turn 2, from Brain Fade back onto Jimmy Dale in the 33. A little bit of contact, I think, out of turn 4 there between Silver Bullet and Terry Scott, but no harm, no foul between those two. Battling with Ken Hansen for, looks like 11th. Wiley King all over the back bumper of Zach Rogers as he was earlier. This time, though, it is for 2nd and not the lead.
And Zach now running in dirty air, that still affects the car, doesn't it?
Oh, it absolutely does. Obviously, Zach still has a lot of speed in that 5 machine, but even the best of cars, as soon as you put them in a completely different air, it can completely alter the handling and the performance of the car. Still a very fast car, but I think that car would be even faster if there wasn't a fast one immediately ahead of him.
And we're about 10 laps away from being able to make it to the end of this race on fuel, so expect these drivers to probably pit, or to start pitting here in the next 10 laps or so, and that pit cycle could go a little bit long with drivers maybe short pitting versus others trying to stay out as long as possible to maybe catch a caution to improve their track position. Zach Rogers now with a run down the back straightaway closes in on the leader. That's Mac Daddy in the 28. That Haviland Ford has had a slow but methodical rise to the front of the field here tonight. Started all the way out back, I believe, in the 14th spot. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Out there, yeah.
But started out towards the back half of the field and has climbed his way to the front.
And you mentioning pitting in the next couple laps is interesting because obviously everybody has to pit at least one more time.
Mm-hmm.
But we're looking at about 34 to go, so we might see some people elect to pit here very soon and run those tires and fuel out to the end, but you might see a couple other people run it out to the end this time by, and maybe come down pit road for a splash and maybe 2 tires with like 5 or 6 laps to go and hope it's enough.
Yeah, I mean, I always like to try to stretch my fuel and tires as much as possible, Dewey. That's kind of the camp I play in. I don't know if any of these drivers are going to be able to make it to the end of this race, per se, because we went back green around lap 94, I believe.
Yeah, you're not making it 46 laps on fuel.
No, but you know, if you go to about 15 to go, that gets you to 125. If you can get there and maybe you catch a couple guys with a caution or something happens, you know, that might be the strategy if you're running back there at the back half of the top 10. But for these guys up front, I think you're going to really see them all kind of take the same strategy. They don't want to lose ground to each other. We saw the massive lead that Zach...
Silver Bullet!
They're
Sorry,
3
Joe,
wide.
they're
No,
3
you're
wide.
good.
They're down the back, and the 4 was dead sideways and on the bottom of it.
You talked about it. 2 packs kind of formed in this race. The second pack a little bit racier right now than the front. Oh,
Good
these
battle
guys up.
for the lead, but I think overall the backpack has got more going on.
The
I think
backpack.
whatever the leader does, though, in this situation is what most of the people behind him will do.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's my gut feeling with this.
Oh, that's your gut feeling.
It is. I think the 5 scrapes the wall out of 2 that time. Looks like it didn't really affect him, but perhaps maybe the tires on the 5 going a bit faster than those on the 28.
Which is kind of surprising, right? Because I feel like the 5's kind of been riding a little bit here.
And the 5's been the class of the field for basically the entire run, except until about 10-ish laps ago.
And you don't want to over-adjust, too, if you're Zach Rogers here on this last stop, right? Would you even make any adjustments?
I don't think I would. Obviously, you can tell this car doesn't handle as well in this dirty air, but you know that the car is that fast when it's in clean air. So if he can maybe short pit a little bit and get himself out in front of that 28, I mean, that might be enough to get himself the win, and he's going to try to do it right here. And
Mac Daddy
right
kind
there.
of... I think Mac Daddy kind of conceded the spot. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard for Zach to make any adjustments to this car. Maybe make a little bit of a wedge adjustment here, but maybe bump around with the tire pressures, knowing it's going to be a little bit of a shorter run for this last little bit. But yeah, I don't know if there's too much you want to do to this 5 car. It's just been a dominant night. Talked about Tyler Mallon having the struggles the 18 crew has had here tonight with the random engine failure happening under caution and being involved in multiple incidents here. And Zach Rogers has had a flawless race so far, right? In this 5 car, so looking to take advantage of the misfortunes of the 18. Yeah, Ben, we've shown the upcoming races a couple times tonight already. Of course, Ben asking for those upcoming races because, well, the next one up is the Fun Coast 500 Maverick Cup Series season opener from the Daytona International Speedway. Coverage kicking off at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesday night. Then it's the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series from the Dover Motor Speedway. Coverage kicking off 1 week from this evening, March 21st, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. And Saturday, March 23rd, Polar Bear 200 heads to the Texas Motor Speedway this year at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races, much more, are going to be live right here only on JTN and presented by our friends at SchemeHaven.com. Friends, or should I just say friend? As the caution's out.
And let's see what it's for.
Oh, we got a couple cars here on the front stretch right in front of us, Dewey. How did we not see that?
I don't know, but the 49 has got a lot of damage that was not there before, so it's safe to say Brain Fade is one of those collected in this.
Yeah, Monty Keller and Brian Voiles also collected up in it.
See where this started. I think it was around where Monty Keller was, perhaps? Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Monty's in the wall and turns off the wall.
Yeah, right in front of Brain and Brian Voiles, and that is a nasty hit for the 49.
Yeah. Let's go on board. I like pizza. Do you like pizza?
I love.
Do you like your pizza smashed up against a wall? Because here it is.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm not a... Smash burgers are good. I don't know about smash pizza.
Thin crust pizza?
Thin crust is pretty cool. Alright, so take everything we said about fuel and throw it right out your 4th story window. You're in a building that high, because it no longer matters. It looks like everybody will make their way down pit road, with exception to the 92. So this may be just a lap-led point grab for Joshua Clements.
This could be last round of pit stops. Kind of expect it to be, because we'll go back green with 20 to go, as you said, or around that. Zach Rogers wins the race off pit road. McDaddy second. Nelly, Ricky J, Ken Hansen, Magoo, Wiley King loses a bunch of positions on the pit lane in this 095. That was not what that team wanted here late.
Yeah, that's about the worst possible time to have a bad pit stop.
You know what time would be worse?
When would be worse?
Later in this race.
Oh, bold of you to assume we'll have another round of pit stops.
Mm.
You never know.
Dewey Schramm.
JoeTowNetwork.
What do you think is going to win this race? I'm about to have you put a jinx on somebody. That's evil of me.
I mean, I think Zach Rogers is the easy choice.
Is that your pick?
Been the best car, been the fastest car, been the driver that's made the fewest mistakes. Hard not to pick him.
Dewey has just sealed the fate of the 5 car here tonight. Dewey was like, "Hey, 5 car, you're not winning." That's what Dewey said. To all the Zach Rogers fans out there, it's Dewey's fault.
Unbelievable.
You know, if Zach watches this back, he'll make sure to comment too.
I have no doubt about that. As base lights are off. So 21 to go at the line again. Fuel no longer means anything. Zach the leader, Mac Daddy, Nelly, Ken Hansen, and Ricky J round out the top 5. Ken and Ricky have both been up here in this top 5 in the race. Have had different issues that took them out, but now, late in the going, find themselves up there again. So, a golden opportunity for one of those two to maybe steal a win away, like both of them already have this year.
Golden
Something ends
opportunity.
up happening with one of those top 3.
Golden opportunity, says Dewey.
Yeah.
Going back to green. Rogers with control gets about a car length and a half gap to Mac Daddy as we're back underway, and we got a gap already forming back here. Ken Hansen with another bad restart. Dewey, I think he's missing 3rd gear.
I think I think that might have been what happened earlier on, is that it wasn't him shifting into 4th by accident. He might have just blown 3rd gear at some point, and when you're missing a gear, that is unfortunately what happens. Oh, Joshua Clements just put Jimmy Dale on the wall there out of turn 4. got a little high and washed up into the 33, who keeps it going, but as if he didn't have enough damage on the right side of his car, he's got a little more now. Magoo also in the wall there in the middle of turn 2. That's going to drop him out of the top 10.
Clemency inside a brain fade there in the 92. But back up front, Zach Rogers with the lead, and he's just going to let Mac Daddy stay within striking distance here, Dewey, with under 20 laps to go.
Oh, they better hope there isn't a caution, because he just had 2 very near yellows and that many laps. Got a hornet's nest here around 9th or 10th. Ken Hansen, Joshua Clements, Brain Fade, RJ Rusty all in a little group together here. Power Malin also only 1 lap down for real this time, so if we do have another yellow, he will be back on the lead lap unless he's the car responsible for the yellow.
Or another car goes lap down.
Obviously, neither of those things he wants to have happen.
Obviously.
Brian Voiles looking for, looks like 11th here on RJ Rusty. Monty Keller right behind them. 3-way battle here out of 2. Looks like Voiles will get the advantage there down the backstretch. And now Jimmy Dale's going to take a peek underneath that 2 car as well. .15 laps to go this time by. Zach Rogers still out front, the dominant car of the race. Currently trying to fend off Mac Daddy, Nelly, and Ricky J. Silver Bullet, Wiley King, Terry Scott going at it for 5th here through the dogleg and into 1.
Ricky J closing in on Nelly for the 3rd spot as well as we look at this battle for 5th. Led by Wiley King.
Trying to get back into it as well.
And now that Ken's back up to speed, he's fine, right? But if he's another guy that's probably praying that we don't get another restart.
Oh, absolutely. Because if we get another caution, he is tanking again. Not having 3rd gear on a restart is about one of the worst
situations you can get into.
You can be in for a restart. Battle for the lead here into 1. Mac Daddy's got the low side here on Zach. Side by side. Could that be the race-winning move? But no, he spins out of turn 2! And he keeps it straight now. No, he doesn't. Into the inside wall he goes. And as soon as he got the race lead, he lost control of his car. The caution is back out, and that is equally terrible news for Ken Hansen.
So you saw the pass for the lead, or at least the finish of the pass for the lead. Mac Daddy clearing up, gets on that transition, and the 28 just goes around, and Zach Rogers will not be denied here tonight, apparently, Dewey.
It was such a good move by Mac Daddy. He took his time, found the right opportunity to go for it. He took it, completed the pass, and boom, it just stepped out from underneath him.
And obviously no contact there. You saw from that last camera angle. The 5 nowhere near the 28. Just that difference in air pressure on the rear spoiler maybe causing this 28 car to spin down the back straightaway. And now the 28 team and Mac Daddy are back where they started here tonight at the rear end of the field. Interesting to see what drivers elect to come down pit lane here. Again, I'm a firm believer, Dewey, that you gotta try something that the leader doesn't here with how strong that this 5 car has been.
I agree. I mean, obviously Mac Daddy will be down pit road. He needs 4 tires. Looks like everybody else, though, is going to come down too. Nobody stayed out at all.
And the 18 car will be back on the lead lap, Dewey.
Yeah, Tyler the only one to stay out, but again, that is just to get his lap back.
Well, the 18 will pit, so...
So
Get
finally,
the lucky
after 100 plus laps, Tyler Mallon finally is back on the lead lap. So now at this point, if anybody wrecks from here on out, the 18 can legitimately pass them. And it doesn't have to lay back as much on restarts anymore.
Well, we got a couple 2-tire calls here. Silver Bullet in the 4 and Ken Hansen in the 9, which the 9 is...
I like it.
I mean, the 9 without a restart gear.
Yeah, Silver Bullet might be in the best spot out of anybody right now, because if Ken misses 3rd gear again and can't get it going, it's going to hold up everybody behind him. So now all of a sudden the 4 car has a very good chance of maybe winning this thing.
Are you surprised not to see more 2-tire calls?
Honestly, I am.
Because, I mean, it worked earlier in the race with a similar amount of laps, I thought.
It wasn't a very long green run, and with how few laps we have left to go, I think it's worth the shot to try to do it. Like, I'm actually very, very surprised more people didn't go for that. Either way, Silver Bullet and Ken Hansen did elect to take 2, and they seem to be the only ones that did. And again, with the gear issue that Ken Hansen's dealing with, it's given Silver Bullet. I'm not going to say it's given him the keys to the win, but I mean, unless Ken starts on the bottom to stay out of the way here, which he very well could do. But if he stays in the groove and starts and doesn't have that gear and doesn't have the launch,
Oh boy.
it's gonna be hard to catch the 4 with that few laps left.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying oh well Ken shouldn't start in 2nd because he's missing a gear or whatever. He's on the lead lap. I mean, that car is fast when it's not restarting.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't fault him for doing it if he does. It's just a tough situation knowing that that's going to happen first, and that your time for recovery from it is extremely low. But a potential chance here for an upset for Silver Bullet.
Aaron says he's Team Chaos in chat.
Yeah, he had the incident earlier with Joshua Clements and Jimmy Dale, but has done a very good job recovering from that. Lights are out on the pace car, so we're going to have 7 laps to go here for the restart. Silver Bullet and Ken Hansen on 2 tires. The 9's missing 3rd gear, so he'll be very slow here in a moment. Zach Rogers, Ricky J, Nelly round out the top 5. We'll see if Ken Hansen decides to start on the bottom to give these guys a break, or if he'll stay in the groove and force them all to go high. Or low, whatever they choose to do.
Whichever way they go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Silver Bullet probably hoping he starts directly behind him.
Yeah.
It's getting down to it.
Yeah, it looks like the 9 car is going to pull out a line here. And let these guys pass to the outside.
So there's still going to be a bit of a gap unless Silver Bullet completely whiffs the restart, but
Yes.
not as much as there could have been.
Well, here we go. 7 laps to go for Silver Bullet in the 4. Green flag. We're back underway, and the 5 is there.
Yeah, the 4 really, he didn't go that well. There's Ken falling back with the missing gear. The 9 will have a chance to get back up there.
Oh, the 5's in the wall!
Speed and Zach's in the wall! And down the track he goes. He holds onto it, but I'm sure that's not what he wanted at all. And here comes Ricky J to the inside of Silver Bullet for the lead.
Ricky J trying to take the lead here for the second time tonight. First time was through a cycle of green flag stops. Rogers now by for second. Silver Bullet sliding, slipping all over the racetrack. 6 to go.
Yeah, Ricky J stole it at Martinsville, trying to steal it again tonight here at Lowe's.
What can Zach Rogers do to catch the... Oh, he's past him. Never mind.
I'm gonna say Ricky J, I think, got pretty loose there out of
Yeah,
turn 2 and went down the hill.
I started the sentence. I wanted to finish it. Zach said, don't worry about it, Joe. 5 to go.
There's a hornet's nest behind them, though. I don't know if this thing's gonna finish under green or not with how close these guys are to each other.
And see McDaddy going by Monty Keller. Rusty going by... I believe that was Brain Fade in the 49. RJ going to have a run here on Monty Keller.
Monty Keller's blocking RJ Rusty there down the backstretch.
Oh, he's chopping his nose.
Monty Keller really wants that top 10. He's going to do everything he can to keep that 2 back there. Oh, and the 2's in the grass! Oh, and he spins it! Oh, no, and RJ Rusty locks it down. He's going to come back up the track. Is this going to be a caution?
Nope.
No.
Here comes Ricky J looking for the lead.
Down there.
Wiley King's looking for 3rd as well to the inside of Nelly. Great racing here at the front of the field in the last few laps.
This is great racing all the way through the field.
3 laps
Terry
to go.
Scott, Silver Bullet, and Ken Hansen and Joshua Cope. We got a 5-car battle for 5th, like right across the finish line here, too. They're all over each other back here.
Dewey, what is going on?
A lot. Mac Daddy's flying up the high side. He restarted in like 12th and just hit the wall and lost all his momentum, but that's okay because there's still a lot of battling going on everywhere right now.
I think
no
we're
shortage of action right now.
Oh, Terry Scott! Around.
And is that going to be a caution?
It will.
And that's going to end it. Zach Rogers is going to be your winner here tonight at Lowe's.
And Ricky J, I don't know what happened there, but he might not even got 3rd, Dewey.
Oh, man. I think he did get 3rd. Just barely. And unfortunately, this will not end under green, which is a shame because that was getting real good.
That was getting fun.
And I think Terry Scott got a bit loose ahead of Mac Daddy and just got up into the wall.
Let's see what happens here with Ricky J. Yeah, he's barely going to get 3rd, I think, over Wiley King.
Everybody else, though, did a great job of avoiding the 66 spinning. And by getting back on the lead lap, Tyler Mallon's going to end up finishing 14th, which I'm sure doesn't, sound great for him, but considering he ran like 17th all race, he did end up getting a couple of spots at the end through some spins and attrition.
Oh, pace car comes around here. 1 lap to go. Presented by Death Craver. Death Craver chronicles the story of a young racer, Enzo, who's interrupted in the midst of a street race. He's invited to the a competition to race on some never-before-seen racetracks. And, well, folks, things aren't always as they seem. One detail's left out. Enzo will be facing the ruthless Death Craver and his deranged assault squadron turned race team. They're weaponized supercars, and well, folks, they're willing to kill to win. That's why you gotta read Death Craver. Find out how it ends for Enzo. Will it end in victory or defeat? You gotta read the book. Now available on Amazon. It's Death Craver by Zach Rogers. Encourage you to go check it out. Again, now on Amazon. Death Craver with a K. Now available on Amazon.
Yeah, well, Zach himself is a win craver. as he will be taking home the dub here tonight. I'm sure the silver lining of this ending under yellow is that instead of just saying Death Craver 1 to go, he just got his whole, he got a way longer
Oh, you got a pretty good one last week, too.
segment there.
I believe. Or maybe it was Sunday. I think it was Sunday, you got a good one. We try. We try.
Yeah.
But off at turn number 4, Zach Rogers will bring it around. He predicted that Tyler Mellon would win. Nonetheless, he will win here tonight from the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Zach Rogers in that Tracker Boats Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet with a dominant performance, which we've seen before out of that paint scheme. Your winner here tonight from the Lowe's Motor Speedway.
And a heck of a run for Nelly as well, finishing second here tonight. Had that great pit call earlier to get himself up there in the top 5, and it ends in a runner-up finish for that 103. Probably his best race of the season up to this point. And Ricky J came in close to stealing another one, just couldn't quite get there.
Rogers burns it down. He's your race winner here in Concord. I don't think Zach knows we're short on time, does he?
No.
He's going to celebrate and enjoy this one. So we'll get post-race results on your screens momentarily. We'll talk with our top 3 finishers here tonight. Zach Rogers, Nelly, and Ricky J. And folks, as always, can't thank you enough for watching. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Let's go ahead and start by talking with our 3rd place finisher. He's the driver of the number 193, BSR Ricky J. Ricky, you got a copy.
Hello.
Hello. Well, that was kind of fun for you off turn 4, huh?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
This race had a couple twists and turns there. We saw 2 tires, 4 tires, bunch of different strategies on pit lane. What went into, though, that last call to just go ahead and take 4 tires and not even take the risk of doing 2?
I just wanted to make sure that I solidified a good position first, and then just see what we had to go for it there at the end. I knew probably somebody else was going to take 2, but when you got a bunch of people on old or 2 tires and then fresh tires, it can get kind of crazy. So we definitely executed that perfectly on the restart, and then we just kind of threw. But it was still a lot of fun.
How crazy was that finish tonight? Because you had about a pack of 4. You guys are tight up there. I mean, how crazy is that to have a group that close in the closing stages of a race like this?
It's really intense, and at a track like Charlotte, or Lowe's, I should say, it can be really deceptive. When you're looking at it on the TV, it's one of those tracks where, you can't really tell how tight it really is when you're out there on the track, firsthand, and you're driving, and it's a lot more intense than it looks when you get a bunch of cars all tied up on each other. So it was pretty wild.
Well, results on your screens at home, folks. Ricky, again, congratulations on a great finish. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. Got a great partner on the car, as always. Got great folks behind you. Floor is yours. You know what to do.
I just want to say thank you to you guys who are doing the broadcast every single week. Thank you to Brian and Kathy Voiles from Voiles Trucking, Magoo, and everyone here at BSR for coming out and racing with us. Hope everybody out there watching enjoyed it as well, and we'll hopefully see you guys next week.
Heck yeah. Well, Ricky, again, congratulations on a strong finish here tonight. Great run for you in this 93 team. As always, can't thank you enough for taking some time to talk with us. And again, good luck here in the future.
Sounds good. Thank you, Joe. And shout out to Joshua and Chad. Hey, Josh.
BSR Ricky J, driver of the 93, your third place finisher here tonight. Let's go ahead and next bring in our second place finisher. It's driver of the number 103 Chevrolet, BSR Nelly. Nelly, you got a copy?
Yes, I got a copy.
Hey, strong run for you in this 103 team, up inside the top 5 all night long. You get the second place run. How good does that feel?
Feels really good. I beat Ricky J.
What were you thinking there when he's slideways off of turn 4 coming to what was pretty much the checkered flag?
Thanks, Ricky.
Did you yell it out the window at him?
Yes, I did.
Good.
Actually, going down the backstretch, I said it on TeamSpeak. So everybody heard it.
How, I asked him how intense it was up there at the end, but how intense was it for you behind the wheel of your car? I mean,
white knuckle.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yes.
Those last 10 laps were they fun though?
Yes, they were.
Okay, all right. How this race had a lot of ebbs and flows, twists and turns, ups and downs. Slow. Some caution. You got some long green flag runs. Had a green flag pit cycle in there. With a race that's it's long like this, it's more likely to happen. But how prepared were you to go through those ebbs and flows tonight, and how well do you think you got through them?
Not very well. On the pit stops, on the caution, I kept sliding through my pit. I had to back up. So I kept losing spots on pit road during the cautions.
What do you got to do to iron that out?
I don't know. Practice pit stops more.
Nelly, I love you, man. You're straight to the point. I love it. Before we let you go, though, Nelly, I want to give you the opportunity. Obviously, you got a great partner on the car. You got a big race coming up next weekend. But before we let you go, I want to give you a chance. Got great folks as well behind you. Floor is yours. You know what to do.
I'll thank my sponsor first this time, the Medicine Chest, and can't wait for the Polar Bear. Thank Kathy and Brian. Thank Magoo. Thank you guys for doing what you do. Thank you for everybody else that's racing and everybody that's watching.
Nelly, man, again, congratulations on the second place run here tonight. Very well deserved. As always, it's a pleasure getting the opportunity to talk with you. And again, can't thank you enough for your time. Hope we're talking with you again here in the coming weeks.
Thanks, Joe.
BSR Nelly, driver of the 103, your second place finisher here tonight from the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Let's go ahead and finally head down into victory lane and talk with the driver of the number 5, Zach Rogers. Zach, you got a copy?
Let's go, Joe.
So
Finally.
yeah, I was gonna say, is there a little bit of like sigh of relief?
I had such a good feeling going into today for some reason. I don't know what it was, but I was like 4 weeks of all this just bad luck, something happening every week, and I was like, I have a good feeling. Man, yeah, it's a good feeling. I just had a feeling the whole race. I was like I don't know if I'm gonna win this, but I had a feeling the whole race, and just things just kept happening. Tyler had his issue. Ricky had issues on pit road like all night, and then it looked like it was all over right there on the first lap of the restart. But Ricky's car bottomed out a little, and he had to really catch it, and it was still going to be tough to hold him off with those if we had gone those 2 more laps. But I mean, my goodness, the amount of luck I had today. I know I had a fast car, but like the amount of luck. Like, why couldn't I had this trickled out the last 4 weeks? I would have rather won 4 in a row. But you take them when you get them.
How much, this race we talked with Nelly and talked with Ricky J about how hectic and crazy it was, but how much of that did you really feel? Because you were out in front pacing the way for most of this race. Obviously, Tyler had issues early on, but and that kind of felt like it was going to be another battle between you and the 18, since that team obviously had the fastest car in qualifying. How much of those ebbs and flows, ups and downs, did you feel from behind the wheel and out through the visor, since you're out in front of the field, compared to maybe some of those guys that were in the hornet's nest throughout the race?
Yeah, so I mean, that first quick little run we had before the first caution, Tyler and I pulled away about a second over everyone else, and I don't know if that was just people dicing it up for third or whatever it was, but once Tyler had his issue, I was like wondering, oh, like, am I gonna be able to hold like a half second gap or something maybe here? I wasn't sure how it was gonna play out, and you had plenty of people that had pace for the whole run tonight. Wiley King had pace tonight. Ken Hansen had pace. Nelly had pace. Even Silver Bullet was up there at the end of a run. He was still like right there. Ricky J, of course. I mean, there were a lot of people with pace tonight. Mac Daddy too. He came up late and he was quick too. I mean, it was. I might not have been in the midst of the chaos, but I definitely felt that if I make a mistake and I lose 2-3 spots, it's gonna be tough. And we even had the there was one caution where a pit and I was like, I could take 2 here, but I'm gonna take 4. And then Silver Bullet, Mac Daddy, and I think it was Ricky J had missed his stall that caution, so he went back down after. But Wiley had stayed out, and I was able to get by Silver Bullet, but then I couldn't do anything against Keith or Wiley. Like, I'm kind of tight at the beginning of the run, tight, loose kind of. So I was like, oh man, like this could be hard to get back by these guys. And then we had another caution and we got them on pit road. But to answer your question, like I think I technically like felt the chaos, but not maybe the same kind of chaos that you might mean.
I see what you're saying. Well, Zach, you get through it tonight, man. Congratulations on the big win. Before we let you go, want to give you the opportunity. You got great partners on the car as always. Got great folks behind you. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
There's a second win with Bass Pro Shops on the car, and this time we did it with zero controversy. So feels good. This is career win number 5 in the Cup Series. I do not get a lot of these Cup wins often, so too bad I can't enjoy it. I got to go to work tomorrow, but and this race is the longest race of the year. But hey, like I said, you take them when you can get them, but still want to race Tyler from one all the way through. Got to thank Tyler. More so future thanks, helping me out a little bit with Dover. We got Dover next week. I'm pretty good for like the first half of the run, but second half of the run, oh boy, it's been tricky. So I've been doing a little testing, not as crazy as Infineon, but just a little testing and been getting a little help. So we'll see how we do next week, but wanted to thank him ahead of time for that. Got to thank other sponsors, DuPont, Airheads, and Kellogg's. We got Bass Pro in the car again next week for Dover, so we'll see if maybe this car is a good luck charm or something. It wasn't last week, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You know, week to week basis. Got to thank you guys as always for the stream. Of course, Brian and Kathy Voiles for sponsoring the stream. Magoo and everyone at Bomb Squad in the clubhouse coming out, putting this show on. Also the Magoo for letting me race here. Got to thank you for the One to Go sponsorship. And a shout out anyone who might have been watching tonight. My coworker Scotty, my cousin Nate. Potentially my mom and my stepdad, they might watch this back after. Want to give a special shout out. She probably won't watch this, but I want to give a special shout out to my sister. It's her 8th birthday today. I'll be seeing her this weekend. So she turned 8, and holy crap, 8 years going by makes me feel old, Joe. So that's all I got. And we won the truck race last night. So
Sweet.
We'll see what we can do tomorrow. And we'll try to go for the sweep.
Oh, heck yeah, Zach. Good luck with that, man. Congratulations on, again, big win here tonight. Like you said, longest race of the year. Probably one of the most hectic races of the year, and ups and downs and roller coaster events that we'll see on the calendar here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Congratulations on the win, man, as always. Can't thank you enough for your sponsorship of our One to Go segment as well. And man, congratulations. Glad to see you get into victory lane. And here's to many, many more good runs throughout the rest of the year. Can't thank you enough for your time after this one, Zach.
Yeah, real quick, I actually just remembered something. Sometimes you get caught up in these interviews and you have so much you want to say that you forget something. But I remembered something. I want to just give a real quick story. When I first started racing Lowe's open setup, I hated this track so much. hated it. Couldn't figure it out. Would either get too tight early or would be too loose. And we won the Xfinity race in the fall here, and the Cup setup wasn't probably not the best setup, but it was fast. So kind of crazy how time changes things. So thanks.
No problem. Zach Rogers, driver the number 5, your race winner here tonight from the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Dewey, that's going to wrap up our coverage here tonight. Fans saw a great race, as they always do on Thursdays, and they're going to want to tune in again next week as we got more great racing action on tap.
Absolutely they are. Of course, we are back next Thursday for the Bomb Squad Cup Series at Dover. And Maverick kicks off on Tuesday. Be there or be square. It's Daytona. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be crazy. It'll be a lot of things. But we'll be there.
We will be there. You should
I can't wait.
And remember to follow or go subscribe to Track and Turf right here on YouTube for all of our fun content that we've had here on JTN Fake Racers Podcast. Sports-related content, and much, much more. You can follow us on our social media at JoeTowNetwork, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're on all those platforms. Keep up to date with us by following us there, as well as making sure you're subscribed right here on our YouTube, JoeTowNetwork. Again, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in as always. A big thank you as always goes out to the Bomb Squad Racing Clubhouse, Magoo, as well as Brian and Kathy Voiles Trucking. Stay safe down there. A lot of folks are going to experience some pretty major storms this week, so we're thinking about everyone going through those, and we're hoping everyone comes out on the best side of it. For all of us, though, here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for my colleague Dewey Schramm, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks.
3 wide for second, but Sean Whitehill is going to bring it home and win the race at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Ricky J closing up off turn 4. He's going to have a run to the inside. He blocks into the grass. Checkers out. Hardy wins it.
Ricky, what's going on in your brain right now?
Yeah, putting on 4 big rubber shoes and 2 gallons of, not 2 gallons, 2 cans of exploding dino juice here, Joe.
Down to the tunnel turn. These guys are throwing it through there and around to the back.
No.
The wall, as well as RJ Bishop. Down in front of Keith Hughes. Oh, no! Big hit. RJ Bishop.
Oh, my
Oh,
Ricky
big
J,
wreck.
big crash into the wall.
Oh,
the leaders
no.
have wrecked. Ricky J is upside down. Magoo is hard on the wall. Tyler Mallon escapes with no damage. Everybody else in this main group, including Nelly, is junk.
Through the north chute, they'll go. The 24's into the wall, almost contact there. The 10 with the shallow entry into turn 4. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. Folks, the 24's in the wall. They make contact, turn around. Napick goes on through the flip. Rich Napick's going to win the Culver Block 200 in thrilling fashion.